Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today let's take a look at one of the most powerful function in Excel, which is the pivot table. So for a pivot table, you need to download a file, which is this file right here. I'm gonna save the file in the video so that you can download and follow the method I'm using. So for here, I want you to have a set of data like this. In order for you to create a pivot table, it's very easy. All you have to do is just click in the middle of anywhere on this set of data, and you click on the button called insert, which is here. Now on the tab on top, so click insert, and then you're gonna have to click on create pivot table right here, right? And then you're gonna say from table and range, because we're not importing any data, so we'll just click it from here. So come table and range, right? Click on that. Once you click on that, Excel is automatically gonna look up the range of your data, which is like from A1, as you can see here, data, table range, data, A1. You don't have to mind the $ at this point yet, but just, that from A1, and it's going to go all the way to, X869, which is all the way in the corner on the bottom, the last part of the data. And then they're going to ask you is, so just leave it like that because it's going to already grab all the data. And then they're going to choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. You can go to a new worksheet, which means Excel is going to create a new worksheet for you, or you can even choose an existing worksheet and then just give it a location. For this example, let's assuming that it's going to be a new worksheet. So just click OK. There we go. As you can see, it's create a new worksheet here, right? And then you can right click here and just rename it to anything that you want. Let's say summary, right? And then what you need to do is going back to the pivot table, and start choosing your data set, right? So let's see. So in the pivot table, first of all, let's say you want to go with country name. So check here on the right. Now, if this little thing is not there, let's assume that for some reason you didn't see that that side. All you need to do is right click on here on the pivot table, right click on it, and then you see that show field list. Once you click that, it's gonna pop out for you, right? So here, let's say we want to look for the country name. So click on country name. It's automatically gonna put it in the row. So as you can see, it's organize it into, like, if it's the same country name, and it's unique country name here, right? Because it's gonna group the information that you have, and then it's gonna go, let's say we're looking for data in 2018, right? So we can click on 2018. It's gonna automatically put it into the value, right? And then the first thing it's gonna do is gonna sum all the data in 2018, right? So if you want to leave it like that, then you just click 2018. It's going to sum all the data in 2018 for Afghanistan. For example, Afghanistan, right? All the data in under the 2018 will be added here because you use the sum. If you go back to the data sheet, you can see, like right here, right? These, you have 4 items that have Afghanistan as a country name. And then in 2018, if you just go over here, it's going to sum all these. So if you highlight these 4 items, you can see the sum of here is like, 209587452269. It's going to be that right there. See? So it just sum it for you, right? So, and then let's say at the top of the field, drop down, choose. Okay. So another thing you can do is, let's say you want to filter something out, right? So let's say we going and we do indicator name, right? So you click on indicator name, and instead of leaving it like this, right? If you want access to electricity only, you see that each country, or each country have four items, like 4 type of data. They have access to electricity, they have GDP, they have international tourism, and they have military spending. But you don't want to add like this, you want to filter it out, then you can drag this, click on here, drag it to the filter columns, right? So now you have indicator name up here. Now if you want just the electricity, you can just click here, select multiple item, uncheck everything, and just check the access to electricity. Then now they only add the access to electricity, and these I think is percentage, so it's like 98.7%. So Afghanistan have 98.7% access to electricity, because as you can see here, percent of population, right? So 11. Give me 1 second. Let me just grab this. Okay, right. So let's say if you want to know which country have that amount of electricity access, then you can filter it like this to get the right answer. All right. And if let's say if you want looking at GDP instead of access to electricity, just uncheck access to electricity and change to GDP. So if you're looking for a country that is the largest the lowest GDP in 2018, you could just do this, and you can actually sort the data. So if you want to sort data, you can click here like this little drop down, right? And then click and then go sort A to Z or Z to A, like backward or forward. But the thing is that you have to give it. Technically it's gonna sort the first row, like the first column, like let's say column A. If you go A to Z, it's just gonna sort this one, or if you go to Z to A, it's gonna sort this one. If you want to sort the second column to find out the max and the min, you have to go more sort option, right? And then you're gonna go descending order, that's the largest to the smallest, and then you're gonna choose which column to sort. So in this case, let's say this one, and you want to sort like this from smallest to largest. Sorry, this one of the sum. So click there, and now you know all these from smallest to largest, and you can look at for the data that way, right? So if you want to know the smallest country, the smallest like the smallest GDP other than 0 in 2018, then this one is the country that does that, that have the smallest GDP, right? So if you want to change it to tourism and look at the data for tourism, you can uncheck again, international tourism, right? Just click that, check that. Now, if you want to say the most visitor in 2018, going back here, instead of sort it from smallest to largest, you can just change it here, largest to smallest, right? 18, and then click OK. It's gonna pop up. So France have the most visitor in 2018, right? That's how you check for the largest. And then military spending, again, if you want to look for military spending, you just uncheck that, check that. Now you have the military spending, and then the largest one. So let's say we already have the largest one, right? Largest in 2018. So this is the percentage of GDP. So Saudi Arabia have the largest military spending based on the percentage of their GDP, right? And then let's say if you want to change the you know what's it the you can actually have more than one here. So if you let's say if you want to check look up for 2000 data too, you can click on it and make sure that it's under here, and if it's under here, then it's going to be it's going to show up. So let's say if you want 2000 data, you want the largest percentage of military spending, you can sort it, make sure you sort it right. Instead of 2018 here, you have to choose 2000, right? And then you have this, the largest military spending is 32% of GDP, which is pretty big, right? So that's some information about the pivot table. Let's see if there's more. Let me go over a couple of other things about pivot table. So let's see, and then country, and then let's say we look for 2015 data. So let me pop that. Let's see, do something else. 2015 data, and go looking sorted by electricity. So let's say we want to know what percentage of the what's the percentage of the country have access to electricity in 2015 for Afghanistan. Then this is how you search it up. And again, because there's a pivot table, you cannot really kind of like copy and paste. Let's see what happened. Oh, I did something earlier. Oh, yeah, they don't let you change that. They don't let you touch this because So just copy that. There you go. So yeah, that's some restriction on what to select or what allowed to be selected or not selected. So if you click here, technically, you normally, like, if you click here, you can, select it from the formula, but because this is not a formula, it's feed from the pivot table, so they won't let you click on there and change it. So even here, like, you can't change the data in here because it's not a text or anything like that. All right, take we should run. Okay, let's see. Check country name. On right side, country name. Region, going by region now. Instead of country name, let's change that to region. Now, instead of country name, it's going to change this to a region. And percentage. See, population percentage. Now, as you can see, because it's a region, this data doesn't make sense, because as a percentage, you can't really have a 300 percentage, because how can you have a 300% of the population have access to electricity, right? But if you go back to the original data, which is North America here, you can see that, let's say we go back here, and in order for you to check that, like, let's say go to data, click on filter, region, just check on North America, as you can see. And then what year was that? 2015, right? 2015. As you can see, 2015, right? And then you filter this by access to electricity. So as you can see, there is 3 countries in North America. The percentage of their access to electricity is 100% for 2015 every year, right? All 3 years. So because we left here as a sum of 215, so they're gonna add the three value up. But of course, when you add 3%, that doesn't make sense, because 100% plus 100% plus 100% is like 300%. So in order for you to be able to make sense of this data, you have to go here, right? And then go to value field setting. And instead of the sum, you go the average, right? So if you go to average, change it. Now you have the average of the 3 countries that in North America that have access to electricity. So now the number makes more sense, because now it's 100%, because all 3 countries have 100%, right? So right, so 100% makes more sense than 300%. It doesn't make sense to national. So now here in the national tourism, again, messing around with the data. This one's the average, right? The average, because you're using here, right? So if you're looking for change indicator filters international, what's the value sub? So they're looking for this, right? So the average of the number of tourism. Now the thing is, like, of course, if you want the total, you can just change it back to the sum, right? Change it back to the sum, and they give you the total number of tourism in that region, right? But if you want the number average, change it here, right? And then I change right. So they didn't want me to change it. Now again, click on that. Let's see, go back here, sum, right? Go back to sum. And then of course, if you want to know the number, then just the number of country in that region, you can just go to count, right? Go here, go count, 42, 41, 42 countries, 42 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, right? 42 countries. So technically, it's faster for you to do that than to use the the filter information, because let's say if you go filter, like once you have the filter for everything, if you want to clear everything, just click clear here, so it done the filter. And then see, if you go region, this one, right, and you want to know the country name, right, how many countries there are, so you should filter it out by tourism, right? International tourism. So there's this many country. So if you control shift, click down, there's 48 countries. 48 countries. Oh. Why is it only 42 countries? Oh, for 15, sorry. 48 country, but the data here is only 42 because there are some country that doesn't have data. So they don't count those. So if you highlight it from top to bottom, you can see the count here, the average here, and then the sum here, right? But in order for you to do that, you have to filter a couple of times. Whereas in the pivot table, you can just do a couple clicks and it's gonna count for you, right? So so and then of course you have the grand total down here. So usually when you have data up here, it's gonna sum up everything on the grand total line, right? So yep. So pivot table is very powerful. I recommend you try it. I will put this data sheet on under the video here so that you can try it out yourself and follow my the video to see if you can generate the same kind of result that I did, right? And then there's more to pivot table than what I show here. So hopefully I will be able to create like a longer video just about pivot table and do some cool thing about it. And again, thank you so much for watching my channel. And please hit the like button, subscribe so that I can bring this content to more viewers like you. Thank you. Bye bye.